Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sister Wives, which is currently in its 19th season, has changed significantly from its 2010 debut. The original purpose of the TLC series was to provide insight into the inner lives of Kody Brown and his 4 sister spouses. But over time, the program turned into a case study of toxic dynamics and destructive relationships. In reality, many of the Brown family members have been unbearable to watch on film, even though Robyn Brown frequently takes center stage as the show's biggest villain. Robyn Brown's kid from her first marriage to David Jessup is named Dayton Brown. Kody formally adopted Dayton and his sisters, Brianna and Aurora Brown, when Robyn married him. Dayton first appeared dissatisfied with the circumstances and never treated Kody with the deference he was entitled to. The first several seasons of the show concentrated on Dayton's resistance to being part of the Brown tribe, even though he hasn't been a primary emphasis. But keep in mind that he was just 15 years old at the time of all of this. In fact, he smashed a photo of Kody and his family during a Season 2 episode, which Robyn later claimed was an accident. Fans soon realized, though, that Dayton wasn't quite thrilled with her mother's new husband. One of the main issues on the show has been Dayton's emotional detachment from both Kody and his other step-siblings. Family conflict only increased as a result of Robyn's overprotectiveness of her son. For example, Robyn was criticized by Aurora Brown, the son of Kody and Christine Brown, for putting Dayton in an RV outside of her home rather than allowing him to live on his own. However, Robyn has pushed Kody to put Dayton's needs ahead of his biological children for several seasons of the show, which has clearly caused a great deal of animosity between him and his step-siblings. I am aware that one of Kody's first 3 wives, Janelle, consistently seems to be given the short end of the stick on the show. However, Janelle isn't always the victim in this situation, and there may be more to it than first appears. Although Janelle was frequently regarded as the more sensible and astute sister wife, the reality is that she has made some quite poor choices. Beginning with her acquisition of an RV, which caused a great deal of conflict in the family. She spent a significant sum of money on the purchase, and the fact that it lacked basic conveniences only serves to highlight the carelessness with which she occasionally acts. In terms of her emotions, Janelle always tends to adopt a passive attitude and will even go so far as to support Kody's actions if they are advantageous to her. Although she states that she is friendly with Christine, the fact that she frequently sides with Kody against her raises doubts about her actual motivations. However, the final straw for me was her relationship with Mary Brown. I can see how their relationship would have been a touch tense because we were Kody's first 2 wives. But as time passed, Janelle occasionally treated Mary in a genuinely cruel manner. The friendly relationship between Janelle and Mary was essentially terminated by the notorious ring incident. It was cruel of Janelle to assist Kody in melting down Mary's ring so they could produce rings for their daughters. It's safe to say that after that, I didn't respect Janelle as much. There are moments when I think Kody's wives alternated between being the antagonist. There have been numerous ups and downs in Mary's representation in the show. Some supporters contend that she has also been immature, manipulative, and self-centered, while others think she is the greatest sufferer of Kody's negligence. From the beginning, it was clear that Mary would stop at nothing to please Kody, even if it meant hurting the other sisters' spouses. It's clear from watching the show again that she only consented to polygamy because Kody requested it. She later paid the price for her deeds when Kody emotionally distanced himself from her. Mary quickly became friends with Robyn after she was brought into the dynamic in order to keep her power within the family. She clearly didn't like Robyn, but she wanted to maintain her good standing with Kody. All of her relationships on the show were, in a sense, transactional, but she would also use her outbursts over Kody not putting her first to further her victim narrative. Mary was a master manipulator who would abruptly leave family get-togethers and initiate passive-aggressive disputes. And when everything else failed, she defended herself against criticism by using her difficulties becoming pregnant. Mary would use her infertility as an excuse to avoid responsibility whenever she was questioned. Double standards, huh? To further illustrate the degree of her self-centered behavior, she essentially rejected her daughter, Aurora Brown, after she came out as homosexual. Mary's catfishing incident may rank among the most startling reality TV incidents ever. It was disclosed during Sister Wives Season 7 that Mary had been communicating online with a man named Sam. But as it turned out, Sam was actually a woman who had been pretending to be someone else in order to trick Mary. Mary was technically emotionally disloyal to Kody, despite the fact that many people think she was manipulated. Naturally, both the family and the show's fans found the news to be a little too much to bear. When Mary once again portrayed herself as the victim and placed all the blame on the catfisher rather than taking responsibility for her error, the issue grew even more convoluted. To save face, Kody and the rest of the clan soon began to follow the narrative. In this sense, Mary's catfisher became one of the most prominent antagonists in the series, even if their true identity was never made public. However, this catfisher was well aware of what to do and took advantage of Mary when she felt emotionally isolated from her husband. Mary was tricked into falling for the catfisher's emotional ploy. Since they all believed Mary had betrayed their trust, Sam in many ways caused a rift between Mary and the other family members. Even though Jessup wasn't a member of Sister Wives, I mean it when I say that his influence endures. As Robyn has stated, Jessup has had a significant influence in her life. Long before she met Kody, Robyn's marriage to David ended in divorce, and she has described their relationship as emotionally abusive. Robyn claimed that David had totally cut her off from her family and was manipulative and dominating. Robyn clung to Kody for dear life because of her traumatic history, which made him instantly regard himself as her hero. Of all Kody's offspring, Robyn Brown, or just Gwen, may be the one who most resembles him. She frequently gets into arguments with her father because of his audacity and outspokenness. In addition, Gwen enjoys being the center of attention and frequently vents in public to create drama on and off film. Among the few Brown children who have established a career outside of their family is Gwen. Although she has a YouTube account, many of her admirers think that rather than developing her own identity, she mostly tries to capitalize on the Sister Wives brand. Now, when Gwen yells about her father's careless spending and financial irresponsibility, particularly with regard to Robyn and her kids, I'm the first to agree with her. However, some people find it offensive to publicize family grievances and make money off of them. Although a lot of people think Gwen is clear and honest, the fact that she earns money by disparaging her family begs many concerns about her motivations. You have to question whether she genuinely wants to strike up a meaningful conversation or whether this is all a ploy to get money. When Gwen declined to go to her mother Christine's wedding to David Woolley, she also caused a great deal of controversy. Fans have concluded that Gwen is just interested in advancing her own story as a result of this, and her scandal of failing to provide promised content on Patreon. Instead of being a trustworthy family member, she frequently puts her own feelings first. Although all of Robyn's children are a touch strange, there's something about Aurora that bothers me. Perhaps as a result of Robyn's overly protective parenting style, Aurora seems to have never truly matured. On the program, she is frequently depicted as sensitive and emotionally brittle. Her frequent infantilization on the show, however, is a little unnerving given that she is currently 22 years old. And for a purpose, Aurora is quite unconcerned about it. She is more than willing to follow the story and continue to feel powerless. Her relationship with Kody, which occasionally seems almost inappropriate, heightens the drama. Kody neglects his biological children to attend to Aurora's demands because she is so incessantly demanding his attention. Even though Robyn's nanny has never appeared on television, her presence acts as a constant reminder of all the problems that have plagued the Brown family. Robyn's dependence on a nanny has been a source of controversy on the show from the beginning. Even with so many family members to support her, Robyn simply couldn't manage her work and raise her children at the same time, like the other sister wives. That's the whole purpose of belonging to a poly family, isn't it? According to Robyn, she has always desired a polygamous arrangement in which other individuals may raise her children. However, she was unable to implement that when the time came. In addition, Robyn upholds the status quo as the sole sister wife with a nanny. It demonstrated how far Kody would go to make sure she was happy and suggested that she was the most significant sister wife. Robyn's reputation as the helpless damsel in distress who couldn't manage daily duties without assistance was cemented by the nanny's arrival. Anyone who has watched Sister Wives will concur that Robyn Brown is typically the show's antagonist. Robyn actually enjoys Kody's devotion toward her, despite the fact that you might argue that it is not her fault. She cherished being in charge of her former sister wives and the rest of their relatives. Robyn was able to avoid the repercussions of her conduct because Kody essentially never refused her requests during the show. Before pretending to be the defenseless victim who was really attempting to keep everyone together, she would deliberately incite Kody against his former wives. She pushed Kody to put her kids above everyone else, but she also had a lot of influence over them. Robyn clearly struggles with control, and being Kody's favorite wife only made her inclinations worse. Robyn had the opportunity to assist Kody become a better husband and father because she was the only wife he would genuinely listen to.
She didn't want to do that, though.
Ultimately, Robyn is one of the most despised members of the Brown family due to her selfishness and her endorsement of Kody's patriarchal beliefs. Even though Robyn is a prominent antagonist on the show, Kody is better than her. He is, in my opinion, the most prominent villain to have been on TLC, much alone Sister Wives. Kody wasn't this awful in the show's early seasons. While he was undoubtedly sexist in his beliefs, he also showed love and concern for his wife and kids. However, his family gradually fell apart as a result of his partiality and infatuation with Robyn. After all, Kody's wives wouldn't have felt the need to vie for his affection and attention if he hadn't begun setting them against one another. It became clear after the first several seasons of Sister Wives that Kody was a control freak. No matter how ridiculous his rules were, he wanted everyone to follow them, including his wives and children. Kody's total inability to accept responsibility for his deeds is what makes him an even more heinous villain. The fact that he blamed his children for their tense relationships with him rather than trying to understand their perspectives was particularly startling. Ultimately, Kody's family's unavoidable disintegration was caused by his failure to take charge and treat each of his wives with dignity. These 10 villains bring the chaos in Sister Wives, the shocking truth behind the most explosive drama. Introduction: the villains who spark the Sister Wives chaos. When you think of Sister Wives, the show about the complicated lives of the Brown family, you likely imagine a group of people navigating love, family dynamics, and the tension of polygamy. But what if we told you that some of the most compelling moments in the show weren't about love at all, but about the drama, manipulation, and scheming of the villains who have forever changed the course of this reality TV sensation? Whether it's a sly character plotting behind closed doors or a family member sowing chaos in the midst of harmony, Sister Wives is no stranger to drama. And let's be honest, without the villains, Sister Wives would simply be another show about family relationships. Where's the fun in that? In this explosive article, we break down the 10 most chaotic villains from Sister Wives who have caused the most havoc over the years. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations, shocking secrets, and controversial moments that have left fans questioning everything they thought they knew about the Brown family. These villains are not just troublemakers. They are the catalysts of the show's most jaw-dropping twists. Chapter 1. The Queen of Chaos, Robyn Brown. Robyn Brown is arguably the most divisive character in the Sister Wives universe, and for good reason. Though she often portrays herself as the innocent, sweet, new wife, who's simply trying to fit in, her actions behind the scenes tell a much different story. Known for her ability to manipulate situations and leverage her position as Kody's favorite wife, Robyn has become the queen of chaos in the Brown family. From her arrival on the scene, it was clear Robyn's presence would shake things up. The rest of the wives immediately saw her as a threat to their own positions, and with good reason. Robyn's knack for winning Kody's favor created tension between her and the other wives, especially Meri and Janelle, who found themselves vying for attention from Kody in increasingly desperate ways. But Robyn's villainy isn't just about family dynamics, it's about her tendency to push boundaries and manipulate situations for her own benefit. Many fans have pointed to Robyn's role in Kody's increasingly toxic behavior and his shifting priorities, which have often been centered around her. Her impact on the family is undeniable, and though she may not be openly antagonistic like some of the other villains on this list, she's been the cause of many explosive moments. Chapter 2. Kody Brown, the power-hungry patriarch. Yes, Kody Brown himself deserves a spot on this list. The man at the center of Sister Wives has stirred up chaos like no other. While Kody may not be a villain in the traditional sense, his actions, and especially his leadership style, have ignited countless conflicts and tensions within the family. As the patriarch, Kody wields an almost tyrannical control over the family dynamics. His decisions often feel self-serving, and his inability to balance his relationships with multiple wives has sparked many a confrontation. Whether it's his emotional favoritism toward Robyn, his repeated failures to effectively communicate with his wives, or his obsession with maintaining control, Kody's actions have been nothing short of chaotic. Kody's villainous behavior is not about outright malice, but about the way he neglects the needs and feelings of the other wives. His indecisiveness, mixed with his self-centered approach to polygamy, has caused tension at every turn. The ultimate question remains: is Kody truly the patriarch of the Brown family, or has his ego and poor decisions turned him into the villain? Chapter 3. Marries Brown, the ultimate schemer. When it comes to Marries Brown, the line between victim and villain is often blurred. Marries has experienced her fair share of hardships, from the collapse of her marriage with Kody to her infamous catfishing scandal. But there's a side to Marries that has led to her status as one of the most chaotic forces in the Brown family. Marries' penchant for drama can't be denied. Despite the cracks in her marriage, she's made several attempts to keep things intact, sometimes at the expense of other family members. She has been accused of trying to play the victim while subtly causing strife behind the scenes. Her vendettas and passive-aggressive tactics have made her a particularly dangerous presence. Fans have watched in awe as Marries constantly tries to keep her position in the family, often using emotional manipulation to get what she wants. Her complex relationship with Kody, combined with her strained connections with the other wives, has made Marries a central figure in many of the family's messiest moments. Whether she's criticizing Robyn's position in the family or stirring up old drama, Marries' actions have contributed to much of the chaos that fans can't stop watching. Chapter 4. Janelle Brown, the silent rebel. Janelle Brown has always been known as the level-headed wife, but don't let that fool you. She has a rebellious streak that often gets overshadowed by the louder personalities of her co-wives. While she might not be the one to directly instigate drama, Janelle's quiet defiance and subtle resistance to Kody's rule make her an unpredictable force in the Brown family. Her role as a silent rebel has come into full view as she begins to assert her independence more and more. Janelle's refusal to conform to Kody's controlling behavior has led to moments of conflict and disagreement, especially in the later seasons. Her decision to leave Arizona and her growing frustration with the polygamous lifestyle have added fuel to the fire of family tensions. Janelle's presence as a quiet antagonist has made her an interesting character to watch. She's not out to cause outright drama, but her actions disrupt the status quo in ways that often escalate existing issues. Chapter 5. Christine Brown, the escape artist. While Christine Brown has earned a fan following for her decision to leave Kody after years of unhappiness, her departure also highlights her role as a chaotic influence within the family dynamic. Christine's exit from the marriage was a game-changer, one that sent shockwaves throughout the Brown family. What made Christine's role so significant was her position as the one who finally broke away. As the one who stood up for herself, Christine's actions indirectly ignited a cascade of chaos within the family. Her decision to leave not only shifted the entire family structure, but also sparked internal battles over loyalty, power, and what it truly means to be a part of Kody's polygamous family. Christine's move toward independence has forced the other wives, especially Robyn, to reevaluate their own relationships with Kody and has exposed deep-rooted issues that were previously hidden under the surface. Chapter 6. The strangers who stir the pot. New partners and disruptors. It's not just the main wives who cause chaos in Sister Wives. Over the years, several strangers and new partners have emerged, disrupting the already fragile family dynamics. Whether it's David Woolley, Christine's new partner, or other individuals from the Browns' personal lives, these outsiders often find themselves as the scapegoats for the chaos. While some of these partners might seem like innocent additions to the family, their mere presence causes tension and creates a ripple effect that leads to explosive drama. Whether it's jealousy, mistrust, or insecurities, new romantic interests and family acquaintances have caused their fair share of havoc, especially as the Brown family tries to redefine itself. Chapter 7. The enablers, friends, and family who fuel the drama. Sometimes, it's not just the Browns themselves who cause chaos, it's the friends and family members who act as enablers. These secondary characters may not be in the spotlight, but they play a huge role in creating tension. Whether it's family members stirring the pot or friends who encourage divisive behaviors, these enablers feed into the drama and provide the fuel that keeps the fire burning. Chapter 8. The media's role in the villainy. It's impossible to talk about the villains of Sister Wives without addressing the media. The way the show is portrayed to the public adds layers of complexity to the family dynamics. The media often twists narratives, glorifying some individuals while vilifying others. The public perception of the Browns has only intensified the drama, causing rifts between the family members and the world outside.